Good morning, all, and welcome to the Simple Invest product demo. My name's Luca, and I'll be your host for the next 30 minutes. Just some housekeeping before we get started. This webinar will be recorded and emailed to you so you can share it with any of your colleagues or loved ones who may want to learn more about Simple Invest. All attendees will be placed on mute. However, you'll have access to the Q&A just in your toolbar. So feel free to ask any questions. We have Daniel joining us today, who will be happy to help answer your questions, and I'll also assist. So feel free to put them in throughout the webinar, and we'll also attend to any towards the end. So who is using Simple Invest 360? Okay, so majority of our users, as we can see on our pie chart, are accountants. We can see 2/3 for the professional edition, which is our accountants package, and 1/3 being individual investors. I suppose for the individual investors, they've generally taken an interest in managing their own entities by preparing accounts and doing their own bookkeeping. Generally, what they'll do is they'll prepare up until the accounting and reporting stage, all right, and then preferably ask their accountant to help out with the tax return review and lodgement, which can be done directly in Simple Invest with our API to the ATO. All right, so given the breakdown of our users that we can see, accountants and individuals, what I might do is I've got a quick poll that I'll run, and what it is just tell us a bit about yourself so I know who is joining today. So what we can see is which option best describes you: current BGL client, new to BGL, currently don't use any BGL products, and are you an accountant, investor, financial planner, and advisor? And then which software do you currently use? So just will give me a bit of information about who's in attendance today and how we can tailor this webinar. I'll leave it there for about another 15 seconds. And while it's there, I'll jump into our next section. Okay, so what are they using it for? What are our current users using Simple Invest for? When we first attempted to develop the cloud version of Simple Invest, we focus solely on trusts. However, once we asked clients to start testing the software in the early days, they mentioned they wanted individuals and companies as well. So what we can see is trusts make up a vast majority of the entities on the platform, being family and unit, and then companies and individuals making up the other third. What can we use Simple Invest 360 for? Okay, and what can it do? So we can see it covers accounting, investments, financial reporting, and tax for those trust companies and individuals. We can see that we cover off on the CGT register for all entities, investment reporting, financial reporting, and tax reporting, and then tax return lodgement for our trusts and companies. Not yet for individuals. If you want to provide some feedback, please feel free to do so. Individuals hopefully will come at some point in the future. I'm going to end the poll that we just ran. We can see we've got quite a large number of accountants joining us today. So we'll stick to, and those using General Ledger, Xero, Biob, and Handy. All right. So why did we build Simple Invest 360? It was generally to satisfy the feedback we received from our current SMSF users and develop a platform for non-SMSF entities. All right, with the same automated technology that we'd put into Simple Fund 360. So focusing on those investment trusts, companies, and individual portfolios, we noticed many of our current SMSF clients were using all different types of software platforms. Okay, so to manage the entities. So we can see here, Simple Invest 360 brings all of those platforms into one solution. All right. So they were getting data from their banks, brokers, wraps, and platforms in formats such as PDF, Excel, which were not compatible with their current system. Okay. They would then drop it all all the source documents. So we can see here we've got, Dropbox, Google Drive, etc., where we'd put all the source documents to file them and keep track of them. Then they would put all the transactions into a general ledger software such as our Xero, MYOB, or Handy. They would do any intraday currency conversions if necessary with the RBA rates. And then on Excel, probably the biggest one is they'd store all the CGT register on an Excel spreadsheet with all the parcels and the contract dates and the units. Then they would use Excel or like a complex Excel spreadsheet to calculate the split of distributions between the beneficiaries, and then Word to draft the minutes and letters, distribution statements, and more. They put it all back into Xero, MYOB, and Handy or General Ledger, and then lodge to the ATO. And this is where Simple Invest 360 eliminates all of those processes and really tries to bring all those systems into the one platform to remove a lot of clutter and maintain accuracy for the accounts and reports, and hopefully reduce errors. So how does General Ledger software compare to Simple Invest 360? So no place to record units. Okay, you're doing that in your Excel spreadsheet. No more details panel for tax information, such as the capital gains and the parcel selection, and the different contract dates, etc. So none of that. So you're gonna have to do that in Excel. Manually create a journal entry for capital gains. So you're gonna have to put in the journal entry for every single investment that's disposed of for that capital gain or loss. Manually enter figures into capital gains schedule. No current market valuation because no feed from the ASX or any other exchanges, global exchanges. And then no investment dashboards to keep track of how the entities are performing. All right. So let's jump into Simple Invest 360 and we'll show you how it works. So once you log into the platform, it's a fully cloud-based solution. If you are a BGL user, which I could see a lot of you are today, it's all linked into Simple Fund 360. So we can see here, we've got the SMSF entities, we've got our trusts, individuals, and our companies. All right, looks very, very similar. 80% of the features in Simple Invest are in Simple Fund. If I select a individual in this scenario, okay, very easy. So if you've got an individual set up, actually, I'll just jump back. If you want to set up any of those entities, you just come into here, put in the name, the code, ABN, TFN, and then create the entity. Once you've done that, okay, we can jump into our Connect screen. I've got a file import, a broker statement that I want to show you. So we'll choose from files here, jump in, do all the mapping, and then import that broker statement. Oh. Broker statement. Okay. Let's do the mapping here. Date. Description. Code. Contract date. Description. Okay. Bank. Outside the current period. All right. Just bear with me for one tick. Just jump into the individual details. Okay. Then we'll give it another try. Management. File import. Okay. All right, what we'll do is we'll jump into our transaction list. All of those, we use another way because that imports wasn't working, but we'll jump in here and we'll be able to import a copy of the bank statement. So if we jump into, let's just say this company here, jump into our smart matching. Okay, I've imported a copy, I'll show you how that works, of a Macquarie bank statement. So let's just say get a Macquarie bank statement. It doesn't have to be from Macquarie. It could be from um, any bank. You upload the PDF into the system, and the beauty about our AI is it reads all the lines on that statement and posts them to our table on the left. This table is fully customizable, so you can go and change the amounts. You can swap the debit and credit if it's in the wrong section. You can even do those currency conversions like I mentioned. Once you hit create, it'll put it into our smart matching table where the system automatically attempts to allocate the particular transaction to our chart of accounts. Very similar to what we do in Simple Fund 360. Then you'll just go down the list and you'll reconcile and make sure that it's in the right, it's being allocated to the right account. You also got the ability to set up rules. So if a similar transaction comes through daily, so let's just say, if we type in here interest, okay, you can bring up all those accounts. We can see that the interest is coming through on a monthly basis. We just need to come in here, select that interest account. Okay, let's just say it's for that bank account there. And it will pre-fill that gross interest for you. Then we can come into here and we can say, we want to create a rule for every time this description comes through from the bank statement, it's going to be automatically allocated to the interest account for our bank account. Then we create rule and match transactions. And then whenever that transaction will come through with that description again, it will then allocate to the interest account. So you can easily search different descriptions, different accounts, and you can post those amounts to the general ledger. Then if we jump into our transaction list, okay, this is our smart general ledger. It is where you can view all of the accounts and the transactions. Like we mentioned, in your general ledger software, you won't have that units column. So if we select one of our, we can see here we have a we got here disposal. Okay, we've got our units column, our debit and credit. We've got our accounts. What you can also do is you can set up those bank, broker, and wrap and platform feeds. Okay, and what it will do is it will automatically bring all of these transactions through. It'll pre-fill the units, the debit and credit amount for when the settlement occurs for the cash side, and then also attach a copy of the contract note to the system. We can see in the more details panel, you've got your contract date, settlement date. You can pick the different parcel. You can even select the disposal method, most tax effective, least, first in, first out, and last. And then you've got your capital gain loss all listed below. And this all flows through into the reports. All right. So once all of those have been, so that's an example of disposal. You've also got the ability to process corporate actions. So if you've got dividend, distribution, reinvestment plans, they'll all flow through into the corporate action screen. We also support all different other corporate actions such as co-class changes, demergers, takeovers, share splits, consolidations, etc. All of this flows through directly from our API from the ASX. So if I jump into investment security list, we can see here all of the investments that the entity currently holds, and we can also view the price, how the system's getting that price. So it's system data, where it's been fed from, and we can also view more details by clicking on that investment. We've got here the security prices coming through at the end of every day, the income, so the dividends as well. Then if we jump back into corporate actions, we can see here by clicking process on this BHP DRP, it will bring through the franked, unfranked, franking credits, and all the other information relating to this DRP. Then we can see below, it will go through and create a summary of that transaction, and we just click process corporate action and it will post it to our general ledger, which we can see DRP, which will look like this. All right, so that's a DRP complete. Then what we can do is we can go into our investment dashboard. So we got various dashboards that we can view the investment performance of the entity. So we got investment performance, and we'll benchmark against the ASX 200. We've got a pie chart which will show the breakdown and the percentages of the different asset classes in the entity, income, market gain, and we can see the return on each individual investment or asset, and then the total portfolio return of the entity. Okay, you've also got the ability to add property. So we've got our property dashboard. You can also prepare invoices for that particular property in, give me one tick. So we can see here, we've got our property. Okay, we can add the different valuations. Then you've got the ability to add those invoices. So if the property, for example, rent, if they had parking spaces that you're charging for, so this can all be sent out to the tenant directly from the software. We connect with a range of different providers for valuation. So if you want to get your property valued within the software, you can do so by connecting the following, and it gives you a bit more information about what services each one of these providers offers. So then what we'll do is we'll jump into the end of year, also our reports. So we've got a range of different reports that we can print off from, investment reports, the financial letters and minutes, work papers. Got your work papers module, which you're probably familiar with if you're using Simple Fund 360. So you can do generate work papers and go through all the checklists and tick off each one of those schedules. You can also provide and download the full schedule with the notes and the work papers. If you're using our Smart Docs feature where you can send all of the source documents through to Simple Invest 360 and have what the system will do is it will attach those source documents directly to the transaction that they're relevant for. So we can see here, if you click upload in our document screen, drag and drop all those reports. So, different CBA dividends, distribution statements, etc. Open. And then what it will do, it will read those, even if it's contract notes, rental property statements, bills for, utilities bills, etc. It will attach itself to that transaction and file itself into the accounts that we can see on the left-hand side here. Distributions. So when you're receiving distributions in Simple Invest, just jump into company here. What you're able to do is, give me one tick. Okay, distribution tax automation, viewed. Okay. So all of your distribution entities that the annual tax statement is going to come through will view in the distribution tax automation screen. The way that you're able to bring through the tax data is either by clicking generate tax data, and we bring it through from our internally when we calculate the each component on the annual tax statement. If you do have a copy of that annual tax statement and you want to upload it in to the software, you can do so. What the system will then do is it will read that statement. So if I just grab a NDQ, we go here. All right, the system will then analyze, and within a couple of minutes, it will post all the components from that statement. So I'll just show you what it looks like. So from our statement here, all those components, it will automatically post to our table and then into the reports. We'll come back to that. Then if we jump into period compliance, okay, and we do the end of year tax, okay, just jump into one of our trusts, okay. Okay, reverse the period there. So what you'll do, you'll come into period compliance, you'll select the distribution frequency, let's do yearly, start the workflow. Okay, it will bring up our statement of taxable income for the financial year. Okay, so the net profit before distributions as per the operating statement, taxable income or loss. Then we have here tax adjustments. So if you want to add different items, and you can also do reserving. Then we'll click Save and Post. It'll bring us into our distribute profit for the 2021 financial year. You can also do income streaming if you want to get more granular, and then you can split based on the taxable profit. In this scenario, across our beneficiaries, we'll go through and I suppose just do a 10, 10, 10, 30, 70, 30. Okay. Then, so we'll do that. It will distribute that, to put in the distribution amount. And then if we click here for the tax components, autofill from accounting profit, it will pre-fill our table here, which you can change the amounts if you like, but it will just bring through all of those, all the income components. What we can do, because we're out by 2 cents. Okay, fix that up, post and continue. If you have any of those entities, so any of those beneficiaries in Simple Invest or Simple Fund 360, you can post into entity journals. So for that distribution, if you want to post that into the transaction list for one of those beneficiary individuals, it will automatically post that for you. So if I just click on it, it'll post those amounts. Okay, so we can see here we've got the individual, company, and investment. Then I'll bring up our tax return. Okay, validate that with the ATO, and you can lodge directly in Simple Invest. You can go to our lodgement screen and track all your lodgements. All right, it will show you the different lodgement statuses. This we're trying to bring through as much information from the ATO as we can. You can view different reports, and you got your timestamps, etc. Then once we've gone through that process, we can go into our report screen. Okay, we can print off a trust report pack. You've also got the ability to send out for digital signing of any of the letters and minutes or the tax return. Then while it prepares that there. See if this has come through. So like I showed before, I put in, uploaded the copy of that tax statement. We can see now it's pre-filled all the components, the tax components. Okay. So it's going to save you a lot of time if you've got multiple entities with similar investments that require the annual tax statement to, save you a couple of hours. Statement of financial position for the trust, operating statement, memorandum of resolutions. So all information that you'd be having to prepare in Word. Trustee declaration, compilation report, statement of distribution. Beauty about this is all the different labels here are only relevant to the particular entity type. So we can see for an individual, and then if it's a company or it will change that distribution. Statement of distributions for each of those. Then we've got here beneficiary balance summary, beneficiary distribution summary, annual tax statement, okay, for each of the beneficiaries. Tax rec, and then our tax return. What I'll do now is I'll jump into a company. Okay. And show you the process for a company, just a bit different. We've also got the ability for Division 7A loan worksheet. So if you do want to prepare like something you'd be preparing in Excel or you could be going through the ATO, what we're able to do is pull through the interest rates, the payments, the minimum repayments, and the running balances. We can see the date when money was taken out, the term of the loan, lodgement date, etc. We can also post dividend journals as well directly to the transaction list, and then you can save all those entities, and it will give you each year. Okay, so something that you'd be doing in Excel, you can now do directly in Simple Invest. You can also see our shareholders, so you can keep track of all your shareholders, give them, allocate them shares. We can say here we've got a Bucker company, couple of shareholders, SMSF. We jump into period compliance. Okay, it's a little bit different to our trust that we just did. Okay, start the workflow. Again, it will prepare our statement of taxable income. We'll save and post. It'll bring up our paid dividends. We've even got a franking credit worksheet. So if you want to view that, can. Okay. And save. Got the ability to change the different franking rates. You've got record and payment date. Okay. You can put in the percentage or dividend amount. Just put 40, 60. Then it will allocate the dividends. Click post and continue. And then again, we can open the inter-entity journal. We'll skip for now to post that dividend to any of the other entity shareholders, which are also in Simple Fund or Simple Invest. Then we have our tax return. We'll validate that with the ATO, and then we can lodge directly through the software and keep track of it in our lodgement screen. What I'll do, I'll jump into reports and I'll show you what a company report pack looks like. Click preview. Very similar to the trust, but just a couple of reports are different. And then we'll just go through consolidated reporting. So we've got our statement of financial position. So our operating statement, declaration of dividend resolutions, members uh, members minute, dividend statements, minutes of meeting of directors. So all reports and letters of minutes that will be automatically prepared for you. Meeting of directors report. So directors report, we put that in, given the feedback that we receive from our current users. So we're always, whenever we receive feedback, we're always taking it on board and adding new features to the platform. Director's declaration, tax reconciliation, summary report, and then our tax return. Okay, so this can all be now done within Simple Invest 360, bringing all those systems into the one, like I mentioned. You've also got consolidated reporting. So if you've got maybe like a family group that has a couple of trusts, super fund, a couple of individuals, you can report across that whole group holistically to view different information regarding the performance, tax movements, income. You've got your different asset allocation, which you can group by asset type, defensive versus growth. You can do GICS code and control account. You can also view the tax for that group, statement of financial position, period view or entity view. So you can see it across all of the different entities in that particular group. Then you've got operating statement and then investment reports. Okay, so we're basically gone through no replace, how to put in the units, our more details panel. We don't have to create a journal for capital gains as it's automatically calculated in that more details panel. Capital gains schedule is all embedded into the platform. The current market valuations, because we're bringing through that data on a daily basis from the ASX and global exchanges, including cryptocurrency. It will revalue all the investments, and you've also got the ability to request valuations for your properties, and you've got your investment dashboards. So what it is, so you got corporate actions, you got CGT register, API connectivity, tax reporting, invoicing, family group reporting, and more. What it isn't: timesheets, inventory, accept payments, purchase orders, payroll, and tax lodgement for individuals. Some feedback clients have been giving us regarding Simple Invest. So it's definitely growing as a platform within the BGL suite. Okay, so they're loving the automatic document reading and population of end of year tax, saving a lot of time, the CGT calculations and importing data. All the information is in the one spot, so you're not having to go between all different platforms. The development team listens to any of our suggestions. I feel like that's quite important when you subscribe to a system. You know, you want your feedback to be listened to and actioned. Very responsive support. So our support team, you can log support calls directly through the platform. You'll have access to the same support that you will if you're using Simple Fund 360 or any of our other products. You can do that direct by clicking log support call. But we've also got live chat. Feel like it's a lot more efficient and you get a response a lot quicker. You just talk to our live chat. It will be a bot for the first minute, and then you'll be able to ask it to talk to a real consultant. So all of our support is based in Melbourne, Victoria. It would give you some articles and suggestions, but if you press no, okay, talk to a human, and then it will connect you to a human within the next 30 seconds. Our help, so you'll have access to our help articles, the BGL help, so you can go through and learn the system. Again, if you're using Simple Fund 360, it's very similar. If you're completely new to BGL, I recommend going through our help articles, and you'll also have access to the BGL Learning channel, where we've got a series of videos and modules where users can come in and learn how to use the platform. Okay, so you have access to that as well. So how do you get started? So onboarding with the BGL client success team. So first you purchase Simple Invest 360, you identify your entities for conversion, and then our client success team will convert the data free of charge. You heard that right. So we do it all for free through the BGL entity setup service. And it's very easy to use. It's all inbuilt into the software. So what you're probably wondering is the price. So 110x GST per entity per annum. Sold with a minimum of 5 entities and then one thereafter. You can subscribe on a monthly basis. So it's just the amount divided by 12. And then you've got the ability to set up your bank data packs and share data packs, which bring through the bank feeds from the bank on a daily basis. And the brokers, so the buyers and sells direct from the broker.